kind of the goal with this camp, what I want, hopefully you guys get out of it is like an understanding of like strength and conditioning and what you guys should be doing. Like I could just put you guys through a workout and like you would learn some stuff, and we're gonna do a little bit of lifting today too. But the main goal is I want you guys to like feel like, oh, now I understand like how I should be lifting specifically for my sport. Does that make sense? I'm gonna ask you guys for like some participation and stuff too, so just be ready for that. You will have to talk a little bit. But first of all, I just want to introduce myself. I know most of you have like seen me here coaching and stuff, but my name's Garrett. I've been a personal trainer and strength coach since 2018. So however long that is, like 7 years or something. I started at Valley Christian High School. If you guys know where that is, I was like the head strength and conditioning coach for the football team, but I also worked with track, volleyball, basically every sport on campus. They don't have a wrestling team. So this is like my first time working specifically with wrestlers, but I've trained a lot of like grapplers and stuff one-on-one, so I'm somewhat familiar with the sport. It's just a little bit more about like my journey and like why I really like this and why it's like important for me to like kind of get it to you guys. Is I was always like a decent athlete, you know, going through middle school. I went to a small private school, so I was like the best, you know, at the small private school. Then I get to high school and we brought like a bunch of transfers in for football, and all of a sudden like there was guys who were like way bigger than me, way stronger, way faster. I was like, oh shoot. So I like didn't see the field as much as I thought I would. When I was a sophomore, I got put down on JV, and that's what kind of like started my whole like lifting journey. So I was pissed that I got put on JV. I thought I deserved to be on varsity. I'm sure you guys have all been there, known someone. And that off season, I hit the weight room really hard. I gained like 30 pounds. And by the next season, I was starting on varsity. And that was like, I was like, oh, I can change my body. I can change how it works. You know, that next season, hitting people, tackling people, which you guys do, you know, was all easier because I was bigger. I was way stronger. I was, you know, faster. And then I graduated. I didn't play football in college. I could have went like D3, but that's not as impressive, you know. So I didn't play football in college. COVID happened when I was in college, so all I had time to do was like work out. So all I did was work out all of COVID. COVID ended, and then I found out that Cal State Long Beach has a rugby team. So after training just like straight super hard, I started training when I was 15, never took any time off. I went out for my rugby team, and all of a sudden I didn't realize this, but I was the fastest person on my rugby team. I was the strongest person on my rugby team, like by far. When in high school I was one of the slowest, and all the difference was I could lift. You know, I went from squatting like 200 to close to 500. I could clean and jerk like 350 pounds. And then I went out for the rugby team, and all of a sudden I noticed the strength, you know? So like with strength and conditioning, you can literally like turn yourself into like the athlete you want to be. Like obviously wrestling's way more important than strength conditioning. If you could be strong, you guys have wrestled people who are really strong, but they suck at wrestling, you just kick their ass, right? But if you wrestle someone who's really good at wrestling and also 10 times stronger than you, they probably kick your ass, right? So what I hope you guys get out of this is understand like how important strength conditioning can be for wrestling, specifically for wrestling, because you're literally picking up people, putting them down, grabbing them, and all that. Okay, so first of all, I want to get into a little bit of participation. So with strength conditioning, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 like movement categories. We have push and pull. These are upper body movements. We have squat, we have hinge, we got rotation / core, we got carry, and we got power. So I just want you guys to use your brain. I'm sure you guys have like worked out at some point in your life. Are you here for a strength conditioning camp? Lily, right? Great. So out of these, you know, push, pull, upper body, squat, hinge, rotate, carry, power, I just kind of want to see what you guys know. Does anybody want to take a shot of like an exercise that they think could be a push exercise? Everybody push. Bench press. Perfect. Or what'd you say? Bench press. All right, what's another push exercise? Leg press? Landmine shoulder press, perfect. Sorry, my hearing's not great. What's another push exercise? Come on, push-ups, it's in the name. Come on, Abby, you had that one. Any more? Come on, you guys know. You guys know. Sled push. So we're talking like upper body for push pull. Are you talking like, I mean, you could do like a sled push like that, but I'd put that more in like the squat category. So here, I'll put that here. What did you mean, like legs?
I meant like full body.
Full body?
Like upper body.
Like pushing it?
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Any other ones? Shoulder press, there we go. That's the one I was looking for. All right, what about pull exercises? Upper body. Pull-ups, nice. Chin-ups would go there too. Do you guys know the difference between a pull-up and a chin-up? And the others, what's that? What's this one? Chin-up, that's cool. Other pull exercises. Bench press. So bench press would be a push exercise. Think of like, you know, bench press, you're pushing someone away. So that's gonna be a push exercise. Rows, perfect. So deadlift, you're close, but not quite. It's kind of a pull. But remember, these are upper body. Deadlift, it works your upper body a little bit, but it's more of a lower body exercise. Any other pull exercises? Say it again. So power cleans are a pull exercise because you're pulling it here, but that's gonna be under the power category. Because power, this is like full body movement. So this is actually where I'd put like sled push too, is under the power category. So here, let's do that. We got two, is that it? Okay, so tricep extension, this is an interesting one. So what are you doing with the tricep extension? So you're going here, right? So does that mimic this, or does that mimic this? Yeah, so your tricep, where your tricep straightens your arm. So that's what it does, is it straightens your arm where your bicep bends your arm. So that's gonna be actually considered a push exercise. All right, come on, we gotta have more. We gotta have more. I'll give you a hint. There's like three machines in here that are pull exercises.
Oh, the tricep.
Tricep pull down, that's not a thing. Lat pull down, there we go, that's what I was looking for. That looks terrible, whatever. Okay, let's move on. Throw out some lower body exercise and let's see if there's squats or hinges. So how about here? How about we start here? Back squat, perfect. What else? What else? Bulgarians, perfect. What else? Lunges, yes, lunges. I was wondering if someone was gonna get that. So although it's single leg, we're still right here versus right here. You guys are doing actually way better than I thought you would. Anything else for here? It's pretty good, honestly. Anybody else got anything? Got the plates to put it behind your head and like squat? Yeah, perfect, perfect. Plate squats. All right, what about hinge movements? Hinge movements? RDLs, my favorite one right off the bat. What else? You already said it. You already said it. Well, you said power cleans down here, but you said, I think it was you that said it. Someone said it. Deadlift. Was that you? Oh, sorry.
No, wait, it wasn't me.
Anything else? There's got to be more. What about, what's the difference between a lunge and a squat? Single leg RDL, there you go. All right, let's get into rotation slash core. I'm interested to what you guys are gonna say on this. Sit-ups, yeah. Cam, I saw your hand up. Russian twist, perfect. Yeah, V-ups, is that core? Yeah. Crunches, V-ups. Yeah. Would that be a core or a rotate? It's all the same. What about like, so in core, when I think of core, I think of abs, I think of obliques, but I also think of hips. So you guys know any like hip exercises? Like up, so that's just would be like, oh, people call them like a bunch of different things. I would call those like, I don't even know what I would call them, honestly. But yeah, those would be perfect. What about hip exercise? Anybody got them? Yeah, so, okay, like the kettlebell swings. Okay, let's talk about that. What would that be? So what does it look like I'm doing? If I'm doing a kettlebell swing, what category would that be under? Power, yeah, I like that. But it could also fit in a different, it could also be in a different category. What other category could it fit in? Like what exercise on here does it look like? Does it look like a squat? Does it look like a push? Does it look like a deadlift? The answer is yes, it looks like a deadlift because you're kind of going here. So it'd be a hinge movement also. So we don't really have any rotation and we haven't got any hips yet. Do you guys have anything else? You guys heard of a Copenhagen plank? Well, you're gonna learn what that is today. Did you have one? Someone had their hand up? No? Anything else? What about side plank? So one of the underrated aspects of side planks is they actually work your glutes too, the outside of your glutes. So like when I think hip exercises, I'm thinking Copenhagen planks work the inner thigh, side planks with the outer thigh. Okay, this is a pretty good list. Let's go on to carry. Farmer carry. What else? Throw them out. Anybody got another one? Shrugs. You guys ever heard of suitcase carry? Yeah, one. Suitcase carries are super good. Gosh, my writing's getting worse and worse. Anything else? You guys know what a front rack carry is? Or with kettlebells? Like just holding two kettlebells right here. You guys ever done that? I'm gonna put that on here. Okay, so why I go over this is a perfect workout, a perfect like week is gonna include all of these. How I like to train and how I think you guys should train is full body workouts. So I see a lot of, I bring this up because I see sometimes you guys like write workouts on there and I'll see like bench press, incline bench press, like push-ups, like all in the same workout. And me personally, and according to all the research and all the schooling I've done, you know, I have a bachelor's in exercise science, if I didn't mention that, that doesn't work as well, especially for athletes. Because what happens if you do, like let's say like a leg day. Let's say you do squats, let's say you do lunges, let's say you do leg press, and then you do Bulgarian split squats. Your quads are gonna be dead, right? Then for the next 2 days at wrestling practice, how are you gonna feel? You're gonna feel like shit, right? Like you're not gonna probably practice well because your legs are just absolutely cooked. Same thing if you like hit back super hard, it's probably gonna be, you know, if your wrists are cooked because you hit back and you did a bunch of carries, like wrestling practice is gonna be harder, right? So we can minimize that by rather than doing like, oh, I'm gonna do a push day, choose one exercise from push, one exercise from pull, one exercise from squat, one exercise from hinge, and you can do that 5 days a week. If you only do one, you can do it 5 days a week. If you do 5 leg exercise or even 2 leg, like push exercises and then try to do 2 more the next day, you're gonna be sore, you have a higher chance of hurting yourself. But if you just have 1, you're gonna be able to push it way harder, and you're gonna like, what's it called? You're gonna like reduce fatigue. So you might always be like a little sore at practice, but you guys are already a little sore at practice because you practice like 16 hours a day from the schedule that you guys have told me, which is crazy, by the way. I do 2 hours of rugby practice and I'm dead. Anyway, so I'm gonna give you guys, I have a PDF program to give you guys, and it's gonna be 3 days a week, full body. Okay, so it's a great program. I wrote it myself, but that's kind of what I wanted to get into with this. And I'll have you guys like take a picture of this at the end before we leave too. Okay, let's get into, so strength training 101. So there's like 4 aspects that you can like train in the gym. And this is not like cardio. Cardio we're gonna go over on Wednesday. We're gonna do plyos and cardio. This is all about just pure strength training. And again, if you don't get it, I'll post a video and you could look at it. But we have 4 aspects: muscle endurance, muscle building, strength, and power. Okay? So muscle endurance, you're working at about like 10 to 15 reps. You're taking like 30 to 60 seconds rest. Muscle building, 6 to 12 reps, 1 to 2 minutes rest. Strength, 3 to 5 reps, 3 minutes rest. Power, 1 to 5 reps, 3 to 5 minutes rest. So this basically goes in order of like how you should do them. So if you're a beginner, you need to first work on your endurance, because if you don't have the endurance, you're not going to have the power. Once you do that, you need to work in this rep range. Even if you're like at a weight class and you're like, I can't get heavier, I'm not trying to like build a bunch of muscle. As long as you don't like eat crazy, you know, you guys know how to handle your diets and handle your weight, you can train in this rep range and still. So you want to spend about like a month here, and then you can get into strength and power. If you jump straight into strength and power, like you're going to be okay, but you just want to make sure you're doing some of this too. So that gets us into like wrestling specific training principles. So first of all, like there's no special exercises. Like I love going, since I've started training wrestlers, I love going on Instagram and looking up like wrestling exercises, and I just see absolutely just like shit. You know, like people doing like weird stuff, like it's terrible. I promise if anybody says like, oh, this is a wrestling specific exercise, like don't look at that. Like I promise you, like I do research, I know this stuff. Like how you actually build athletes is with these exercises, not like some weird like step, cable, rotate, or like, I guess the only one I like is like, what do you guys call them? Like snaps when you throw someone down? Like the ski is actually really good for that. That's like one that, but that's just because it's already a good exercise, you know? But the best wrestling specific exercise you can get is a power clean. It just is, I promise you. But sorry, that's my tangent on that. So how to build an elite wrestler. First of all, understand there's no special exercises. You got to be consistent and you got to get stronger. Like doing a weird exercise isn't, one person doing a weird exercise and one person who can squat 400 pounds, I guarantee you the person who can squat 400 pounds is going to kill him. Just because you can do some weird fancy exercise. It's supposed to wrestling specific. Your wrestling specific training is wrestling people. Like I wrestled Chris one time and he absolutely kicked my ass. And he's super strong. Even though I'm strong in the weight room, I don't wrestle, you know? So I don't have that kind of strength. But I could still, like Chris would get on my back and I could just stand up because I'm stronger than him in that way, right? So if you can combine those two, like Chris is lazy, he doesn't come anymore, you know. But anyway, if you can combine those two, you're gonna be way better off. So, but first you gotta build the foundation, right? So if you see I got an arrow pointing to this is your foundation. You gotta build your endurance, you gotta build your muscle, right? You gotta focus on compound movements, right? Your squat, your deadlift, your bench press, your chin up, you know, core stuff. Compound movements are like full body exercise, where isolated movements would be like a bicep curl, right? We wanna focus on having really good form, getting a full range of motion. Like if you ever see someone squatting like this, you should yell at them. Like squat ass to grass. Full range of motion and a slow tempo. So at the beginning, you gotta have a slow tempo just to like work on the form. But then, if you wanna become a freak, which elite wrestlers are freaks, I've watched college wrestling and it absolutely terrifies me. Even you guys terrify me, but anyway. The main goal is we wanna move weight fast, right? When you're wrestling someone, it's fast, right? There's no slow tempo in wrestling. I mean, obviously, yeah, there's, you guys know what I'm saying. You got to move weight fast. If you want to throw someone, there's no like, it has to be fast. So when we're in the weight room, when you're squatting, when you're deadlifting, as long as you have your form, you got to rip that weight fast. If you're doing a power clean, like I don't want you to, do that. I want you to move it as fast as you can, as tense as possible. And that gets into the next point, take full rest. So what does this say for power? 3 to 5 minutes. That's a long time. If you put a timer on, that's a long time. You guys have never taken 3 to 5 minutes rest in like a full 4-hour practice. You don't get that total. But you're training wrestling. When you're wrestling, you're tired, right? But in the weight room, we're not training wrestling. That's one thing that bothers me so much. People are like, oh, wrestling specific training, you gotta do like high intensity, you gotta be training like weight training isn't cardio. Don't treat it like cardio. Weight training should be to develop strength and power. So please take your full rest because you're in here to get stronger. You're not in here to become like a better wrestler. You're in here to get stronger so that you will be a better wrestler. Does that make sense, the difference between the two? This is probably like the biggest mistake I see, especially with like high school athletes. You guys just want to go, because that's what you're taught, like everything. I've seen you guys like do workouts, and I'm not saying they're bad, but like they're conditioning workouts. Like strength training, what we're going to do today, it's not conditioning. Okay, the goal is to put as much weight on the bar and move it as fast as humanly possible so you actually get stronger. Every rep must be super intense. That's our power, right? And you can't do that if you don't take your full rest. You can't do that if you already don't have great form, full range of motion, right? And you build the foundation with slow tempo. Okay? So, like, forget anything you might see on Instagram or TikTok about like these fancy exercises. You could literally choose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exercises and just do those 5 days a week. And repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, literally for your first like 3 years of training, and just doing 7 exercises, and you would become an absolute freak. Like I promise you. Like you don't need anything fancy. Do you guys have any questions on this before we start moving? Nothing? Okay, cool.